Sarah gave away her daughter's cat Luna to the animal shelter after 8-year-old Emma passed away. "I can't handle anything anymore," she said through tears. But what Luna did 3 months later would change Sarah's life forever. Everything was perfect in Sarah Mitchell's home. Her 8-year-old daughter Emma was excelling at school, making both her parents proud. And Emma had a best friend, Luna. Luna was a 3-year-old tabby cat with brown, black, and white stripes, green eyes, and remarkable intelligence. They had adopted Luna when Emma was a baby, and the two had grown up together. The bond between them amazed everyone. Luna never left Emma's room. When Emma went to school, Luna would wait by the window. When Emma came home, her first act was always to hug Luna. "There's a special connection between Luna and Emma," Sarah would tell her husband Michael. "It's like Luna was born to protect Emma." And it truly was. When Emma got sick, Luna never left her side. When Emma was sad, Luna would comfort her. At night, Luna slept under Emma's bed, always on guard. When Emma's friends came to visit, Luna was always there. The children loved playing with Luna, but Luna's eyes were always on Emma, watching over her. Luna seemed to understand Emma's emotions better than anyone. If Emma was having a bad day at school, Luna would sense it the moment Emma walked through the door. The cat would immediately go to Emma, purring and nuzzling against her until Emma smiled again. "Sometimes I think Luna understands Emma better than we do," Michael would joke, but there was truth in his words. Luna had an almost supernatural ability to know what Emma needed, when she needed it. Everything changed 2 days after Emma's 8th birthday party. Emma became seriously ill. First, she had a mild fever, then she began having difficulty breathing. When they rushed her to the hospital, doctors said Emma had contracted a rare disease. "It's progressing very aggressively," Dr. Anderson explained. "We'll do everything we can." Sarah and Michael spent every day at the hospital by Emma's bedside. But when they returned home, Luna would search everywhere for Emma, listening intently, hoping to hear Emma's voice. "Luna knows Emma is in the hospital too," Sarah said through tears. "She keeps sitting by Emma's bedroom door." Luna refused to eat or drink without Emma there. The veterinarian said Luna was also falling into depression. 2 weeks later, Emma's condition worsened. The doctors prepared the family. "There isn't much more we can do." During Emma's final days, they were allowed to bring Luna to the hospital. When Luna came to Emma's side, the sight brought tears to everyone's eyes. Emma, weak as she was, could still pet Luna. Luna kept licking Emma's hand gently. "Luna senses that Emma is saying goodbye," said Nurse Jennifer. "We know animals are more sensitive about these things than humans." The hospital staff was moved by their bond. Even in her weakened state, Emma would whisper to Luna, telling her to be a good girl. Luna seemed to understand every word, pressing closer to Emma as if trying to give her strength. On Emma's last day, Luna lay beside her bed for hours, never moving. When Emma took her final breath, Luna let out a soft meow, as if she was saying goodbye too. Emma's death devastated Sarah. While Michael was also deeply grieved, Sarah seemed to have lost the will to live. She wouldn't get out of bed for days, refusing to talk to anyone. Luna began exhibiting strange behaviors after Emma's death. She wouldn't leave Emma's room, lying on Emma's bed and sniffing Emma's clothes. "Luna is grieving too," said veterinarian Dr. Patricia. "Cats can show these behaviors when they experience loss." But Luna's behavior didn't return to normal. As weeks passed, Luna withdrew even more. She wasn't eating, wasn't playing, just lying in Emma's room. Sarah tried to care for Luna while dealing with her own grief, but seeing Luna reminded her of Emma, making her even more upset. "This cat constantly reminds me of Emma," Sarah told Michael one day. "When I look at Luna, I see Emma's smile. I can't bear it anymore." Michael understood Sarah's pain. "Maybe it would be better for Luna too," he said gently. "She might be happy with a new family." Sarah struggled with this decision. Luna was Emma's most beloved companion. But every time Sarah looked at Luna, she felt Emma's absence more acutely. The house felt suffocating. Emma's toys were still scattered around, her artwork still hung on the refrigerator, and Luna's presence made everything feel frozen in time. Sarah couldn't move forward while constantly being reminded of what she had lost. "I feel like I'm failing both Emma and Luna," Sarah confided to her sister. "I can't take care of myself, let alone Luna. Maybe Luna deserves better than what I can give her right now." 2 weeks after Emma's death, Sarah took Luna to Reidhaven Animal Shelter. Shelter director Susan understood Sarah's situation with compassion. "This must be a very difficult decision," Susan said. "But sometimes animals need fresh starts too." Sarah cried heavily as she left Luna at the shelter. Luna seemed to understand what was happening. She tried to lick Sarah's hands, as if pleading, "Don't leave me." "Luna is a very sweet cat," said shelter worker Mark. "I'm sure she'll find a new home soon." But adjusting to the shelter wasn't easy for Luna. In the first days, she refused to eat at all. She curled up in the corner of her cage, making no sound. "Luna has been traumatized," said shelter veterinarian Dr. Kim. "She lost the child she loved and now she's in a new environment. She needs time." As days passed, Luna became slightly more active, but she was still very sad. When visitors came, Luna showed no interest. She didn't play with the other cats. Mark and other staff tried to give Luna extra attention. "This cat is very special," Mark said. "You can tell she was deeply loved in her past." The shelter had a special area for cats who needed extra care, and Luna was moved there. The quieter environment seemed to help a little, but Luna's eyes still held deep sadness. Other cats would approach Luna, trying to engage her in play or companionship, but Luna remained distant. She would politely tolerate their presence but showed no real interest in forming new bonds. In the second week of Luna's stay at the shelter, something strange began happening. Luna would disappear while walking in the yard. During the first escape, all staff went out to search for Luna. Susan was very worried. "We must find Luna. She might not survive outside." 6 hours later, Mark found Luna on the other side of town. Luna was sitting at the entrance of Greenfield Cemetery, looking very calm, as if she belonged there. "Strange," Mark told Susan. "Luna seemed like she wanted to be there." The second escape happened a week later. This time Luna had disappeared early in the morning. Mark found her again at the same place, at the cemetery entrance. "This can't be coincidence," Dr. Kim said. "Luna must have a special reason for going there." On the third escape, Susan asked Mark to follow Luna. Mark watched Luna from a distance. Luna went straight to Greenfield Cemetery. But this time she didn't stop at the entrance. She entered the cemetery and headed directly to a specific grave. Mark followed Luna and saw the headstone, Emma Mitchell, 2016 to 2024. "Our beloved daughter, forever in our hearts." Luna sat right next to Emma's grave and didn't move at all. It was as if she was waiting for Emma. Mark was shocked. "Luna is looking for Emma here," he thought. The cemetery was peaceful in the morning light. A few early visitors were placing flowers on graves, but Luna paid them no attention. Her focus was entirely on Emma's grave. She sat with perfect posture, alert and waiting, like a faithful guardian. Mark watched for over an hour. Luna never moved from her spot, never seemed restless or distracted. She was completely devoted to her vigil. When Mark returned to the shelter, he told Susan what had happened. Susan was amazed. "It's impossible for Luna to find Emma's grave," Susan said. "Cats don't do things like that." But Dr. Kim had a different opinion. "Animals have much stronger senses of smell than we do. Luna might have followed Emma's scent." Susan decided to call Sarah and explain the situation. When Sarah answered the phone, her voice was heavy with sadness. "Has Luna escaped?" Sarah asked anxiously. She hasn't escaped, Sarah, Susan said. But something very strange is happening. Luna keeps finding Emma's grave. Sarah was silent for a long time. Then she began to cry. I haven't been to Emma's grave even once, she said. It's too painful. But Luna is looking for Emma, isn't she? Susan said gently. Yes, Sarah said through tears. Luna is waiting for Emma. Susan told Sarah that Luna did the same thing every day. She would disappear in the morning and be found at the cemetery in the afternoon. And Luna refused to leave the graveside. Maybe we should leave Luna there, Sarah suggested. Maybe Luna would be happier there. But Dr. Kim disagreed. Luna can't live outside. She's a house cat. She needs protection from cold and rain. The situation was unprecedented. No one at the shelter had ever encountered a cat who could navigate across town to find a specific grave. Luna's behavior suggested an intelligence and emotional capacity that went beyond typical feline behavior. There's something almost human about her grief, Dr. Kim observed. The way she sits by that grave, it's like she's holding a vigil. I've seen people do this, but never a cat. Susan went to speak with Richard, the director of Greenfield Cemetery. She knew Richard was an animal lover. This is a very unusual situation, Susan told Richard. Luna loves this child very much. When Richard learned about the situation, he was deeply moved. We've never had such a story of loyalty in our cemetery before. Could we allow Luna to enter the cemetery? Susan asked. Richard thought about it. Normally, animals aren't allowed in the cemetery. But this situation is very special. We could give Luna temporary permission. After this decision, the shelter staff made a plan for Luna. They would take Luna to the cemetery every morning and pick her up in the evening. On the first day Luna came to the cemetery, she was very happy. She sat by Emma's grave and waited for hours. It was as if she was waiting for Emma to arrive. Cemetery visitors were deeply moved when they saw Luna. This cat is so loyal, said elderly visitor Helen. I've never seen such devotion. Mark took Luna to and from the cemetery every day. Luna looks more alive at the cemetery, he told Susan. It's like she's found her purpose. The arrangement worked well for several weeks. Luna would spend her days at Emma's grave, and the shelter staff noticed a remarkable change in her behavior. She was eating better, seemed more alert, and had regained some of her natural curiosity. Other cemetery visitors began to recognize Luna. Some would stop by Emma's grave just to see the faithful cat. A few regular visitors started bringing small treats for Luna, though she would only accept them after her vigil hours were complete. She has priorities, Richard observed. Her duty to Emma comes first, everything else second. 3 months had passed. Sarah still hadn't visited Emma's grave. It was too painful. But every time she heard about Luna's story, her conscience ached. Luna is doing what I can't do, she told Michael. She's visiting Emma. I abandoned my daughter, but Luna didn't. Michael understood Sarah's feelings. You'll go when you're ready, he said. You don't need to force yourself. But Sarah was beginning to wonder about Luna. How is Luna? She would call Susan to ask. Luna is at the cemetery every day, Susan would tell her. She sits by Emma's grave for hours. It's like she's talking to her. These words deeply affected Sarah. One night she said to Michael, I want to go to the cemetery tomorrow. Are you sure? Michael asked. No, Sarah said. But Luna is giving me courage. If she can do it, so can I. The next day, Sarah and Michael went to the cemetery. Sarah's hands were shaking, she was very nervous. Sarah had been avoiding not just the cemetery, but anything that reminded her too strongly of Emma. She had packed away most of Emma's belongings, stopped going to places they used to visit together, even avoided Emma's favorite foods at the grocery store. I've been running away from my own daughter's memory, Sarah realized as they drove to the cemetery. But Luna has been honoring it every single day. The weight of this realization was both crushing and liberating. Sarah felt ashamed of her avoidance, but also grateful that Luna had kept Emma's memory alive when she couldn't. When Sarah arrived at the cemetery, she saw Luna. Luna was sitting right next to Emma's grave, looking very calm and peaceful. When Luna saw Sarah, she recognized her immediately. But she didn't run to her. She just meowed softly, as if saying, "Finally, you came." Sarah approached Emma's grave. The headstone read, Emma Mitchell, 2016 to 2024. Our beloved daughter, forever in our hearts. Sarah fell to her knees and began to cry. "Emma, I'm sorry," she said. "I left you alone." But Luna never did. Luna came to Sarah's side and rested her head against Sarah's hand. This gesture deeply moved Sarah. "Luna, you're a better friend to Emma than I am," Sarah said while petting Luna. "You never abandoned Emma." That day, Sarah and Luna stayed by Emma's grave for hours. Sarah talked to Emma about everything she had experienced, how much she missed her. Luna sat beside Sarah as if she was listening. "Luna, you don't remind me of Emma," Sarah said. "You remind me of Emma's love." The afternoon sun cast gentle light across the cemetery. Other visitors passed by quietly, some recognizing the famous cat and her human companion. A few nodded respectfully, understanding they were witnessing something sacred. Sarah found herself telling Emma about Luna's daily visits, about how the cat had found her way here when Sarah couldn't. "She's been taking care of you when I couldn't take care of myself," Sarah whispered. For the first time since Emma's death, Sarah felt a sense of peace. Luna's presence seemed to bridge the gap between the living and the dead, making Emma feel closer somehow. Sarah decided to take Luna back from the shelter. But this time she had a different plan. "I'll take Luna," she told Susan. "But I won't prevent Luna from visiting Emma." Susan was very happy. "I always knew Luna's real place was with you," she said. When Sarah brought Luna home, Luna was very surprised. She recognized the house, but she also noticed that Emma wasn't there. "Luna, Emma is no longer here," Sarah said. "But her memories are here. And we'll remember Emma together." Luna went to Emma's room. Emma's scent was still there. Luna climbed onto Emma's bed and lay in her old spot. But this time it was different. Luna was no longer depressed. She was carrying Emma's memories, but she was continuing to live. Sarah began taking Luna to the cemetery every day. Luna would sit by Emma's grave while Sarah talked to Emma. "Luna gave me back my connection to Emma," Sarah told Michael. "Thanks to Luna, I realized I hadn't lost Emma." The house felt different now too. Sarah began to unpack some of Emma's belongings, not as shrines to her grief, but as celebrations of Emma's life. Luna seemed to approve, often curling up near Emma's favorite books or toys. Sarah started cooking Emma's favorite meals again, not out of sadness, but out of love and remembrance. Luna would sit nearby, and Sarah would tell her stories about Emma while they ate. "You're helping me learn how to honor Emma's memory without being destroyed by it," Sarah would tell Luna. As months passed, Sarah and Luna began healing together. Sarah was no longer afraid to talk about Emma, she was sharing beautiful memories. "Emma loved dogs too," Sarah told Luna one day. "But you were her closest friend." Luna had also changed. She was now playing and eating normally. But she never stopped visiting Emma's grave. Every Saturday, Sarah and Luna went to the cemetery. This was their special day. Sarah would tell Emma about everything that was happening, while Luna rested by Emma's grave. Cemetery visitors loved Sarah and Luna's story. "This cat brought Emma back to you," one visitor told Sarah. "Yes," Sarah said. "Luna taught me that love is stronger than death." Dr. Kim continued monitoring Luna's condition. "Luna is healthy now," she told Sarah. She's completed her grieving process, but she's maintaining her love. Sarah learned a lot from what Luna did for Emma. Luna showed me what real love is, she said. Real love doesn't abandon. The cemetery had become a place of peace rather than pain for Sarah. She would bring fresh flowers, clean Emma's headstone, and sometimes read to Emma from her favorite books while Luna listened. Other families dealing with loss began to seek out Sarah and Luna, finding comfort in their story. Sarah realized that their experience could help others navigate their own grief. Luna didn't just save me, Sarah reflected. She's helping other people understand that love continues even after death. A year later, Sarah and Luna were still visiting Emma. But now these visits were filled with love rather than sadness. Emma, thanks to Luna, I always feel you with me, Sarah said at the graveside. Luna sat in her usual place beside Sarah. Sarah had bought Luna a toy, a small stuffed cat. This is a gift from Emma to you, she told Luna. Luna loved the toy very much. She would take it to Emma's grave and play with it there. The cemetery staff loved Sarah and Luna. They'd become an inseparable part of this cemetery, Richard said. They had placed a small plaque at the cemetery entrance, Luna and Emma, eternal friendship. When visitors heard about this plaque and story, they were deeply moved. Children especially came to see Luna. This cat is very special, they would say. She never left Emma. The story had spread throughout the community. Local newspapers wrote articles about Luna and Sarah. A children's book author contacted Sarah about writing Luna's story for young readers. I think Emma would love that other children could learn about loyalty and love from Luna's story, Sarah said. Luna had taught not just Sarah, but an entire community about the nature of love and remembrance. The cemetery became a place where people came not just to mourn, but to witness the power of enduring affection. If Luna's incredible journey of love and loyalty touched your heart, please show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel. This faithful cat proved that true bonds can never be broken, not even by death itself. Ring the notification bell so you never miss these powerful true stories that remind us what unconditional love really means. Share your own stories of loyal pets in the comments below. Every tale of devotion deserves to be heard and celebrated.